How's it going, citizens? My name's Jacadin, and welcome to the first video in a series I'm calling the Platinum Tour. In this video series, we're gonna go over all the tracks that have been made official racing missions in Star Citizen, and show you everything you need to know to get those platinum times. In this first episode, we're gonna start at the beginning of the racing missions with Lorville Outskirts. We'll be going over the track layout to help you understand how to anticipate the turns, as well as analyzing the racing line, flying techniques, and boost usage. Please note that this series is being recorded during the 3.24.3 patch, so any flight tunings happening in 4.0 and beyond might have an effect on timings and handling compared to what you'll see now. The changes are so drastic that it would require revisiting. I will make a video update on that when the time comes. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos. I will be showing you two laps in this video. One with the Razor, where we will be doing most of the analysis on, and the second lap in an Aurora to show that at the moment it is even possible to set a platinum time with a starter ship. Lorville Outskirts can be found just outside the city of Lorville on Hurston, and will have you navigating 16 checkpoints. The track features several tight turns and sections with long straights where TVI management can play a big part in getting those fast times. Now that we have all that out of the way, let's get started. So the first thing we'll need to do is pick up the mission itself. You can find this mission by going into your Contracts tab in your Mobiglass, and under Racing, selecting this Spaceship Time Trial Lorville Outskirts mission. This will have an entry fee of 400 UEC and will pay out according to the times you get. As long as you finish the lap, you'll get your money back and a bonus based on your rank. If you're not comfortable with losing the entry fee in case of a crash, you can opt for the Spaceship Open Track mission instead, which will give you the same mission but with no entry fee but no payout. Once we select the mission, it's off to the track. So as we line up onto the starting line, we have to keep in mind that the very first turn is a right-hand turn. So by staying on the left-hand side of the track, it allows us to use the full width of the track when we go into the turn. And as the timer reaches 0, we boost ahead. To keep up our acceleration, we're looking for the first turning point. I like to use this pillar that's sitting in the middle of the track. As soon as I get close to it, I use that to pitch up into my next turn. So as we approach it, it's right there on the right. As soon as I get close to it, I pitch up and I'm aiming for the inside of the crane. I do this because I need to rotate left, and it allows me to stay really close to the wall so I can use a full pitch, and I use this rock as a turning marker. So as soon as I get close to it, I make sure that I'm oriented myself perpendicular to where I need to go, and I pitch up all the way through, and I use boost at the exit of the turn. And I'm lining up to my next brake marker, which for this particular case I like to use the collection of pillars that are sitting at the bottom. Same thing with what we did in the previous turn. As soon as I get close to them, I know that I am in a good enough range to start pitching up into the next turn, and just as before, I start boosting at the exit of the turn. Now here, I line up so I'm between the middle of the gate and to the right. Same reasoning as before, this is a left-handed turn, so by staying a bit further right, I can use the full width and I can cut cleanly as close to the inside of the gate as I can. For this turn, we pitch up close, and we take this turn in 2 strides. We'll use the building at the top here as our next turning point, and then we'd use the second pitch, which allows us to bring the TVI in way faster. We keep the nose on TVI and stay as close to this building as possible, so we can keep going straight. The more time we have with that nose on the TVI, the more our acceleration to top speed will be. For this turn, we use this building. As soon as we get close to it, we pitch up, always keeping perpendicular to the exit that we need. As we align ourselves back up, we are staying to the left side of these 2 gates. Whether you go above or below won't matter that much, but we stay left because again, a right-hand turn's coming up, so we use the full width. So as we go through these gates, I'm using the tip of this darkened rock. It sticks out quite a bit and I notice it immediately, and as soon as I get close to it, I know that I need to start pitching up to make the next turn. So as we get close, I pitch up, once again perpendicular. I use the boost to bring my TVI back up real quick. For this gate, as long as we stay within these parameters, we should be fine. But once again, the last turn is a left-hand turn. So what do? We stay to the right side of the gate, we aim our direction that way, and the idea is that we cut as close to the top left corner as possible. This way, we can immediately align ourselves to the finish line as we empty our boost tank and cut through for 1 minute 6. That is almost 30 seconds faster than the platinum time. So the idea here is to use the full width of the track, maximizing your boost at the exit so you can keep that nose on TPI coming close and making perpendicular pitch turns. Now I'm gonna be running it in the Aurora as well, and I'm keeping a zoom here on the boost just to show you the boost usage here. I'm using the exact same lines that I am in my Razor, but you can see that at the moment I am emptying my boost tank because the Aurora is so much slower than the Razor. I need to use the full length of the boost. But here during the pitch, once again, I don't need to waste so I don't overshoot. So I let go of the boost during that turn and then I empty it on the straight. Once again here, I recharge during the turn and I will empty it to straighten out. Now the reason I emptied so early here is because I know that the next straight is super long, so I want to hold on to as much boost as I can. And as soon as I exit this turn, I have half a tank of boost to empty on during the straight. You will notice that I'll actually end up out of boost even before I get to it, so that's how much boost you need. But that's okay, because that boost, we maximized all of it on the straight. Here we're going to be saving just a little bit. Once again, as soon as we straighten up, we are using just a little bit of boost to bring that TVI. Then saving during the turn. Boosting again, so we can maximize the straight line speed. However, I'm almost out of boost, so I will stop, recharge a bit, and that allows me to have enough boost when I'm at the end of the lap, so I can end up as close to 0 as possible, and that's how you maximize your boost tank. So hopefully this guide has helped you understand the racing line and the boost usage that you will need to get those platinum times. As you can see, even with an Aurora, we can still get those times. Let me know down in the comments below your best times. I'm really looking forward to hearing how you guys progress. And if you want to improve even further and try and aim for those top times, make sure to go to scr.gg and look under the Lorville Outskirts section. You will find all the top times there, and you can just click through them and watch the racers go through it. Very, very helpful to improve. If you're too scared of practicing the track with the risk of crashing, I would highly recommend jumping into Arena Commander in an offline lobby. Find Lorville Outskirts and practice it over and over again. There's no penalty for crashing there, so just grind it out, understand the track, and then take it back into the PU and get that platinum time. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. I want to remind you guys that I do stream on Twitch and YouTube twice a week, so if you have any questions, either leave them down in the comments below or join in on the stream and let me know, and I'd be glad to help for any questions that you guys will have. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the racetrack.